Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Thursday. First things first, I'd love to know if you can hear me. So if you can use the chat button at the bottom of the screen there, we'll know if you can hear us. My talking, Gus's grunts, all of the above. Yes, 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 loud and clear. Awesome, thank you so much. So then the next order of business, thank you everyone. Really appreciate that letting me know that you can hear me. Loved the waiting music. Was there waiting music? Really? Okay, not sure if there was, but let me know about that. Really? Oh, okay. So I guess this meeting format has waiting music. That's awesome. Glad you couldn't hear me in the background here, rushing around and making sure everything was set, because this side of the camera looks calm. That side of the camera looks a little bit like chaos. And getting Gus in the right place, and I don't know how long he'll stay. It is seriously in the middle of nap time right now. So in any case, Gus and I next need to know where are you coming? Where are you phoning in from, or dialing in from, or where are you from? So if you can tell us, that would be great. And then I'll just read these off, because that's always really fun to see where everybody's from. I'll go to the top here. The dog does not have scoliosis yet. We're working on it. Okay, so Knoxville, Texas, Illinois, Ohio, Chicago, Georgia, Louisville, Indiana, Tennessee, New Mexico, Philly, New York. Linda, no audio. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Hopefully you have can hear me. San Francisco, California, New York, Cali, Philly, suburbs, Richmond, Virginia. Hello, Virginia. Iowa, Saudi Arabia. Hi, Sarda. How's it going? I know it's late there. Arlington, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Australia. Hey, Australia. California, Arizona, Naples, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, and Wisconsin, Ireland. And so it looks like we have four countries on. Sometimes I leave out my own. So 4 countries on so far. We certainly had over 10, or at least over 10 different countries in the registration. So maybe we'll have more by the end of the meeting. Some people are only able to log in halfway through or so. A couple of things before we get started. First of all, thank you. Huge, giant thank you for being here. It's really fun. So many of you, I've worked with you in person, and to be able to regroup here is very much like a reunion for me. I really, really love it. If you look through the names, you'll probably see some of your fellow students on here also. Goldie, I think that some of your fellow campers are on here also. If they haven't logged in yet, they probably will. Okay, yes, there she is. Goldie Fran just sent you a hello. Okay, those are from the Scolio-Pilates camps. I had a question that I want to go over with you first, and that question was about, can I consolidate the exercises separate from the discussion? Yes, let's do that today. So we're going to discuss before we get started. We'll exercise, then we'll follow that with discussion. Linda, you sent me a question, and I vaguely recall it, so you might have to type it back in here again. Okay, so this is the class news section. It won't take too long, hopefully just a few minutes, but the class news is that I asked you if you wanted more classes, and you all said yes, so here we are, and I plan on being here on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time for quite a long time. So, well, hopefully actually not quite a long time. I'm not sure how long we're all going to be locked down in our homes, so until then. So again, thank you. We did have quite a few people contribute to the class today. I'm very grateful for that, to keep it up and running and going. And also, I've decided that after that, not today, but starting next Thursday, that anybody who's able to contribute will just put your names in a hat, and we'll pull out a name, and that name will win a free Scolio-Pilates session with me on Skype. that following week. So we can't let it linger. So if you win the private, we've got to get it scheduled. And so anybody who contributed this week and anybody who contributes next week will go into that raffle pile. And if you contributed for this class and you're contributing for next class, then of course you get 2 raffle tickets for that. So yeah, so thank you. I appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. And okay, so, and I appreciate everybody being here, everybody. So very, very grateful. And of course, Skype sessions are available to everyone. I've got at least 2 people on today who have Skype sessions scheduled later this week, as in tomorrow. So if anybody needs a private Skype, super happy to help you with that. Last bit of news, and that is that we are going to be teaching Scolio-Pilates Module 1 online during the length of the COVID crisis. And what I mean by that is that I'm not teaching it like every day, but we're teaching it in April. We're gonna, it's an 8-hour course that would normally happen, say, on a Friday from 9 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. But we're breaking it up into 3 classes, and we're going to be meeting from 2 p.m. Eastern time until 5 p.m. Eastern time, or that's the first class, and then the next 2 meetings are a little bit shorter. So Sarah, you can't hear? Can anybody else, is anybody else having problems hearing me? Can you let me know? I can hear you. Oh, it's back on. Okay. All right. So the Scolio-Pilates Module 1 is going to start on April 21st, and then we'll do another discussion lecture session on the 28th of April, and then again we're going to do another lecture discussion session on the 5th of May. So instead of doing 8 hours in one day with all of us stuck behind our computers, we'll do it in 3 sessions. Can I introduce me, Mary Beth? Yes, me. Okay. So yes, I'm Karina Tech. I'm the founder of Scolio-Pilates. I come to this from having scoliosis in my background. I have scoliosis. I had back surgery. The back surgery helped me get the use of my leg back, so my leg works. It's a good leg. However, it destabilized the scoliosis. Because it destabilized the scoliosis, I was having lots and lots and lots of pain. I needed a solution, and so I grabbed the work of a bunch of people, and we created something new. I've spent a lot of years volunteering my time, which I enjoy doing, and it helped me learn a lot. So I think that's it in a nutshell. I've got lots of other experiences that if you want, Mary Beth, I can shoot you the link to my bio. Yes, Linda, I'll get back to that question at the end, because that's a more of an end discussion question, but thank you for putting that there. Okay. So I think that's the end of the class news. We got through that pretty quickly. And now we're on definitions. So before we get started with the class, I want to make sure you understand three words for today, and then we'll move on to other words next time. And the 3 words today are convex, concave, and magic diamond. Magic diamond I stole from one of our practitioners, Suzanne Kucharabi. So convex concave is simply to describe the shape of the back. It's not the shape of the spine. It's actually the shape of how what the back looks like. So if my curve is like this, which it is, this is if my back is facing you, then this side of my back is the part that sticks out. It pops out towards you. And so that is my convexity. It is convex. It's, I think of it, the letter V. If you put a letter V on my back, it's like a hill. So that hill or that sand dune is my convex side. And then the concave side is like a cave. It's like a hollow. It's like a tide pool. And that's the side of the, that's kind of pushed in. So we have 2 sides that are different in our back with scoliosis. So one side will always protrude a bit, and one side will go in a little bit. So we have convex, we have concave. We're going to be using those words a lot. So I'd like you to take just a moment and put your hands kind of at bra strap level. And I want you to find on your own body which side is convex in your mid back and which side is concave. If you start with your fingers right here in the middle of your body and you wrap your thumbs around the outside here and you go to the back, your thumbs should be able to feel which side is your convexity, which side is your concavity. Many of you already know this information. You've been trying to hide that convexity with your clothes for years. So in others of us, doesn't even doesn't even enter your mind. So just try and figure that out. And then lumbar, you go down to your lumbar, and then you're going to do the same thing here. If you have one side that wants to protrude or one side that wants to go in a bit, the side that comes out into your thumb, that's your convexity. The side that might feel a little squishy and goes in, that's your concavity. Okay, so you have convex and concave. The other term we'll be using today is magic diamond. And Suzanne uses this word. She says, you know, the diamond that's at the bottom of your tights here, that's your magic diamond. And then you have to imagine that that magic diamond is getting pulled up into your center. All right, so it's basically a cue for the pelvic floor muscles so that you're not just, first of all, so you're not just relaxed on the mat, but second of all, so that you're not pushing down or like pushing out or bearing down on those muscles. They need to get lifted frequently so we don't forget about them, especially if you're, doing ab work. You don't want to just have all this force going out the pelvic floor that has to be lifted. Okay, so those are our definitions for today. And then we will do an official start here. Welcome, this is your Scolio-Pilates exercise class, and this is number 2 for the COVID crisis, and we'll go ahead and get started here. We are going to be using some of the exercises from the Scolio-Pilates handbook. And for me, I'm very comfortable sitting cross-legged on the floor. I tend not to cross at my ankles. Instead, I like to just kind of put one leg in front of the other. If I look down at my hips, my fingers are on my hip bones, my right hip is in front of my left, so then I just put my left leg in front of my right. It helps me to get that right hip back. All right, if you know where your wedge goes in this position, you can pop it under there. If you don't know, then you don't need it. Don't just go willy-nilly throwing wedges around. So from here, hands go up on the ribs. We're always going to start exactly the same way. So this is the same as last week. We have jellyfish breathing, and we'll just take a very small inhale. Exhale all the air, all the air, all the air, all the air. Good. And now only inhale when you have to. Good. That's it. So the inhale happens naturally, and then you're going to exhale. Exhale, 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 exhale all the air, all the air, all the air, all the air. Inhale when you're ready. Keep going there. If sitting cross-legged is not comfortable for you, then this can be done in a chair. You do not have to sit cross-legged. You can also sit with your legs out in front of you. Exhale all the air, all the air, all the air, all the air, all the air. And then inhaling. As you inhale, your shoulders might lift a little bit, and that's okay. Now, as you exhale, think about the magic diamond. So the magic diamond lifts. If you don't know what the magic diamond is, make sure you go back and watch the first part of this video. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. And then inhale when you have to. Good, that's excellent. Give it a little wiggle. So just make sure that when you're doing the inhale, everyone, that inhale is free and that you're not asking it to happen. It just is what your body does after a big exhale. Hands on the knees. Go ahead and press the knees down into the floor just a smidge. Don't force anything, but just a little bit of a hint of the knees going that direction. Hands on the knees. Go ahead and lift your head up. And then from here, you're going to pull back on your right knee. Let me rephrase that. Make sure you know where your convexity is. So point to it. That hand goes on your knee. That hand pulls back, and as it pulls back, you take your convexity slightly forward. Good, let's do that again. So give it a little wiggle. The hand on the side of your convexity goes on your knee. You lift your spine up. You take those ribs forward on the side of the convexity as I'm pulling back on this hand. So this hand is pulling. It's just very small, so you might not be able to see it. Let's do that again. Wiggle it out. And then you're going to inhale. Exhale, pull the right hand back, right side of the chest forward. And now from here, the side of your concavity, so this is my side of the concavity, as I push back on my knee, I'm going to let these ribs in the front push back to the wall behind me. So on the side of the convexity, I'm trying to get the ribs to come together and forward. And as I push back on the side of my hollow, the concavity, these ribs come together in front so they can spread apart in the back. Okay, so starting from the beginning, so little inhale, exhale, pull back on the knee on the side of the convexity and the ribs go forward. Push back on the side of the concavity and open those ribs up. It should feel like a washcloth that you're wringing out here. And inhaling, exhaling all the air. Ribs go forward on the convexity, ribs go back on the side of the concavity. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, ribs go forward on the convexity, back on the concavity. Good job. Inhale, get super tall. Exhale, stay tall. Ribs go forward on the convexity. They go back on the side of the concavity. That's it. Again, inhaling. Exhaling, ribs forward on the side of the convexity. Keep exhaling. And now stay here. Inhale. Right into the concavity. You might feel those ribs spreading apart. Exhale, stay. Inhale. The ribs spread apart on the side of the concavity. Ribs go forward on the side of the convexity. And exhaling. Inhaling. Spread those ribs apart on the side of the concavity. Forward on the convexity. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. Ribs apart and ribs forward. Good job, everybody. Give it a little wiggle. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my little pad for my hips here. I'm going to bring my legs together and take them out in front of me. If this isn't comfortable, if straight legs is not a position you want to be in, then bent knees with your hands behind your knees. I can clasp my hands here to kind of help myself get tall. If you're comfortable with legs straight, and I do mean comfortable, like super comfortable, like you're not like grabbing in the hip flexors and the quads aren't doing anything wonky here. And then from here, you can take your hands behind you. Your hands are going to be in the shape of a tent, and you can lift up here. So little inhale, and then exhale all the air and get taller. As you exhale, lift that magic diamond. Imagine you have a ball between the legs, squeeze that ball. Good work, everyone. And then inhale, getting tall. Exhale, get taller. Lift the magic diamond, abdominals towards the spine, and imagine you're squeezing a ball between the thighs. Good work. Inhale, get taller. Exhaling, lengthen those arms. Lift the magic diamond, squeeze the ball between the legs. You can flex or point the feet here. Get taller, get taller, get taller. Inhale when you have to. Good. I'm going to shake my wrists out really quickly. And then exhaling. Lift the magic diamond. Squeeze the ball between the thighs. Bring your entire abdominal wall towards the spine. Last time, inhaling. And exhaling, lengthen those arms. Squeeze the ball between the legs. Lift the magic diamond. The abs come towards the spine. And you get taller, you get taller, you get taller. You let your arms release, but you try to keep your head on the ceiling. Good. And then give it a little shake. And then wiggle your spine a little bit. Okay, so we're going to focus on some of the things that we focused on last time, but we're going to spend a little bit more time there. And what we're going to start with is we're going to start with Sleepy Flamingo. I think it's page 41 in your handbook. if you're following along. Yeah, page 41 in the handbook. And if you have wedges, go ahead and wedge up. If not, then don't worry about it. You will simply focus on elongation, which I'll be chatting you through. So from here, you are going to start with your superhero position, which is earlier in the book. I can't remember what page. But you're going to take your hands behind your head, thumbs are at the jaw, and nice elongation here. Reach your feet away, and then flex your feet. And then point your feet, and then flex your feet. And do 3 more like that. Point, and flex, and point, and flex. One more time, and point, and flex. Now put your heels firmly into the mat so that they are attached, and not like what we were just doing. My heels were floating above the floor. Now they're going to push into the mat. My arms are going to go up to the ceiling. I'm still imagining I've got 2 hands behind my head, so I'm still imagining that I'm flying up or doing superhero here. My hands are at the sky with my heels pushed into the floor now. I'm going to flex and point a little more rapidly and give myself a little massage here, give myself a chance for my spine to kind of settle into place here. And let's do 4 more. My wedges are coming out. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And then hands behind the head, flexing the feet, keep the heels on the floor, and reaching. Okay, good work, everybody. So let's do, we're going to do something similar to what we did last week, but first, what I want you to do is I want you to straighten your leg on the side of the lumbar concavity. So the low back cave. If you need to feel your back here, feel your back, feel which side is firm, feel which side is soft. If they are the same, then good you. And you're going to just straighten both legs and keep yourself in a relaxed, flexed position. Don't like tire out your calf muscles or your shin muscles like in an instant. So just relaxed. It's not a problem if the muscles are the same. It's actually a good thing. So for me, my right side is softer than my left. So I'm going to keep my right leg straight. So let me say that again. My right leg is, the back is softer than the left, so my right leg straightens. From this position, I'm going to put my right hand on my right hip, my left hand on my left rib, and I'm going to push down gently. And then from here, I'm going to pull that line away, those 2 points away from each other. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing sitting up. So I'm going to bounce up really quickly. And what I'm doing is I have my right hand on my right hip, my left hand on my left rib. I pushed back into the mat, and then I'm stretching those 2 points gently away from each other. You might feel a little stretch here. We're going to do the other side. So don't force a stretch. And if the stretch is getting into that range of like being a little, owie, definitely don't go there. Stretching shouldn't be owie. It should feel like a release, not an owie. Okay, so here I am, leg straight, right hand, right hip, left hand, left rib, pushing down and reaching away. So here we go. Little inhale, little exhale. Lengthen that diagonal. Rib and hip reach away from each other. Again, inhaling. Exhaling, rib and hip reach away from each other. Inhaling. Exhaling, rib and hip reach away from each other. You have just one more. Inhale. Exhale, rib and hip reaching away. Good. That leg bends. You give yourself a little wiggle. And then you straighten that same leg again. Now, but this time you're going to change the hands. Left hand, left hip, right hand, right rib, pressing down gently and pulling that line apart. Inhaling, exhaling, pull that line apart. Inhaling, exhaling, pull that line apart. Good job, everybody. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. If you don't feel any stretch on this side, it's okay. Don't keep pushing. Last one. And exhaling. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. You can wiggle a little bit. And you're going to do the side where you felt more stretch. All right, because with scoliosis, there's an asymmetry. And so one side is going to feel a little more stretchy and the other side is not. So for me, the stretchier side was right hand, right hip, left hand, left rib. So I'm going to do that side again. You do whatever side you think is appropriate for you. And then a little inhale, little exhale, pressure down, reach the line long. Great work, everybody. And here we go again. Inhale when you have to, not when you feel like it. And then exhale, nice and long. That line is nice and long. And again, inhaling. Exhaling, nice long line here. Last time, inhaling. Exhaling. Nice long line. Okay, good work. Good. Good. We'll add on to that next week. We'll do another little gesture with the hands that kind of helps to reset the spine and get you where you want to go. Okay, straighten your leg on the side of the lumbar concavity. The side of the thoracic concavity. If you feel this, if you can put your hand under one side of your ribs here, that's your concavity. We're going to take the arms to the ceiling, and then we're going to drop that rib into the mat. The concave side goes into the mat, and then the other side is going to try and come away from the mat simultaneously. So both arms are reaching up. My left ribs are going to come down, or the concave side comes down, and then the opposite ribs are going to try and come up. Let's do that twice more. So my concave ribs come down, my convex ribs come up, and my leg that's straight is reaching away. Last time, inhale. Exhale, concave ribs try to touch the mat. They might not, that's okay, that's just our intention. And then the other ribs come off the mat. Hold this position, take a little breath in, exhale all the air, all the air, all the air. The concave rib keeps reaching for the mat, the convex side keeps reaching for the sky. Now this time we're going to add a leg lift. Little inhale when you have to. Exhale, concave rib reaches to the floor, convex rib reaches for the sky, and here we float the right or the straight leg up off the floor, just a smidge, and then you take it right back down. Inhaling. Exhale all the air. Left concave rib down, other rib up, lifting the leg, and right back down. That's your inhale. Exhale. Concave down, convex up, lifting the leg. Take it back down twice more. Exhaling, concave down, convex up, float the leg up, and it goes back down. Last time, inhaling. Exhale, concave down, convex up, and lifting the leg up. Good. Give it a wiggle. And then come on up to sitting just for a moment. Okay, so a lot more detailed than we did last week. And so when you're watching the recording, you know, just kind of try and get into those nitpicky little details here. You're doing really well with it. I know it's a lot of detail, but good job. Good job. All right, let's go into our side lying and see if we can add a little more detail there as well. And we're going to start on the side of our thoracic concavity. So again, if you walk your hands around, you'll find the concave side, you'll find the convex side. This is my concave side. I'm going to put that side on the floor. But this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start with my hands here. I'm on my hip on the concave side. And then as I go down, I'm going to stop right about here on my elbow. And then I'm going to imagine that my ribs are little pearls. If you're Pilates instructor, physical therapist, you're used to describing the spine as pearls. But here we're going to place down one rib at a time. So there's my rib probably 10 because 12's too tucked under, but then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way up. So this is not the position that you usually see when we're doing Pilates sideline work. That position is usually a little more lifted and straight. But for what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that concavity to come down. We're trying to get those ribs to open here. Both hands can go behind the head as if you're flying up. Your top leg can straighten. And then from here, keeping those ribs down, you want to keep pulling the ribs back. You can all have the recording. So keep those ribs coming back, coming back. And then from here, you're going to lift that leg up. Now, as you take that leg down, you're going to go down slowly with that leg. I want these low ribs to keep touching the mat. Now, you're going to feel a little stretch most likely if you're on your concave side. So don't overdo it, all right? So if you're starting to get too much stretch, either release the rib a little bit or don't take the leg so low. So let's do 4 more like that. I'm going to get those ribs back down, 1 pearl at a time. And from here, I'm going to take the leg down, keeping the ribs attached. And I go back up. I'm going to take a little inhale, and I'm going to exhale, pull the stomach close to my spine, lift the magic diamond, keep lifting, and then inhaling up. Exhaling, abdominals to the spine, lifting the magic diamond. Good job, everybody. Excellent work. Inhaling up. Exhaling, stomach to the spine. And when I say stomach, I mean from here to here, towards the spine. Good job. And inhaling up. Exhaling, stomach to spine, lift the magic diamond. That's it. And then coming up, inhaling, exhaling, stomach to spine, lift the magic diamond. Last time, up, and then down you go. Down, 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 down. And you'll feel that stretch. It always feels like a two-way stretch to me because it feels like this is stretching down and way. And I'm going to come out of this very slowly by rolling onto my back. And then once I'm on my back, I'm going to start giving it a little wiggle so my knees can go right and then left, kind of like little windshield wipers. And then once I start to kind of regroup myself more. So from here, let's come on up. The lights are blinking a little here. I don't know if it's our electricity or what's going on. I want to make sure I'm not losing you. You have video but no sound. Yes, I will send the recording to everybody. Don't you worry. And then let's do the other side. So now we're going to go down to the convex side. So we have concave. This is my convex side. And on the convex side, we want to be really careful that this side doesn't touch the floor. All right, so as I go down, it's going to be the opposite of the other side. I was trying to get down rib by rib by rib. And instead on this side, as I go down, I'm going to stay off. I'm going to lift the bottom leg or bend the bottom leg. Keep this top leg lifted. Now it's a little different on this side. The other side I went down to the floor and up. On this side, we're going to start parallel to the floor and we're going to go up on the waist here. Okay, and then come back down. And so you're going to inhale, exhale, keep these ribs lifted, abdominals to the spine, squeeze the magic diamond, and up you go, and down you go. Good work. Inhale here. Exhaling, stomach, magic diamond, and coming back down. Inhaling, exhaling, and up you go. Good work, everybody. We'll do 6 more. If you need a break, just take one, right? So don't torture yourself. It's not Scolio-Pilates torture session. I'm sure some people would disagree. But it's really not supposed to be. And then exhaling up. And then inhaling down. And then exhaling, stomach to spine. Lift the magic diamond. Inhaling, down you go. Flying up with the top of your head, reaching your head to the wall away from you. Exhaling up. Inhaling, flying up on the way down. Exhaling up, nice and slow because it's more fun that way. And on your way down. Exhaling up, stomach to the spine, your ribs are off the mats, lift the magic diamond, and then you come back down. Exhaling up you go. Good work. Inhaling back down. I've totally lost count, so maybe just 2 more for good luck. Nobody accused a Pilates instructor ever of being excellent at counting, right? This is your last one. And coming back down. Good work, everybody. Rolling slowly onto your back. And then once you're there, windshield wiper your legs. Give it a little tiny break there. Deep da 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 da. And then from here, you can give it a little bit more of a wiggle. Just kind of shake everything out. And then you can rock yourself up to sitting. Okay. So then from here, let's go back to the other side. And we're going to just add on to that a little bit. So from here, we go back down. We're on the side of our concavity. We reach our arm out long, and we get the ribs down, 1 pearl at a time. Arm can be straight, arm can be bent. And then from here, we're going to straighten the top leg, keep it on the floor. This arm goes to the sky this time. And then from here, we're going to lift that leg off, and we're going to take little circles. So when you circle, you're going to wipe the foot on the floor, and then you're going to come up. And let me just move a little closer to Gus so you can see my foot. So from here, let me get my ribs down. So from here, you are going to get the whole foot. So my toe and my heel are on the floor. I wipe the foot. As I go back, I squeeze not only the butt, but also the hamstring. So some people call it the leg butt. So that really, really high connection into the glutes there. And then you lift the leg behind you, and then you come around. So the whole time, I'm hoping that you can't see my heel. So I'm trying to keep it hidden behind my toe. I squeeze the butt muscles here. I squeeze the leg butt muscles, those really high hamstring connections, and then I come forward. And then again, deep da 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 da. It's not painfully slow. It's just fun. And then we're going to come around. Good job, everyone. Keep your stomach closer to your spine. Keep your magic diamond lifting. Let's take 4 more. So we're going to inhale on the up, and we'll exhale on the wipe. Squeeze your butt, squeeze the leg butt, and up you go. And down. Exhaling. Glute squeeze, hamstring, and then up you go. Good work. And down. And glute squeeze, and leg, hamstring, and up. Did I already lose count? Why, yes, I did. But I think we have 2 more. And up and around. And then last time, squeeze the glute, and the hamstring lifts, and around you go. Good job, everybody. From here, come out of it slowly and give your shoulders a little shake if they need it. Give your spine a little shake, whatever needs a little shake. You can beat your legs a little bit. And then other side. So for me on this side, for all of you, this is going to be your concave side. Whether you're on your right or your left, doesn't matter. But if you're on your concave side, then you're not touching here. Your leg stays off the floor. And we're going to reach the hand not to the sky, but all the way over to the other ear. And that's going to help us keep the ribs off the floor. And it's also going to help us spread those ribs apart here. So from here, our circle goes forward. It goes up. I'm going to flex my foot, squeeze the butt, squeeze the leg butt, and then you come straight through. No floor touching here. And then go forward and up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the leg butt. Right here, I got a little wobbly, so I'm going to make sure this leg down here is anchored and come through. Good. And I'm going to inhale. And I'm going to exhale on the up this time. I'm going to inhale on the down, squeeze the abs to the spine, squeeze the magic diamond. I'm going to exhale on the up. All the air, all the air, all the air, all the air. And then forward. Good work, everybody. exhaling up, squeeze the glute right here, squeeze the leg butt, and then right through center. Inhaling, exhaling all the way up, all the way around. Keep your ribs lifted, squeeze the glute, squeeze the leg butt, and then coming forward. And then up, 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 up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the leg butt, and down you come. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling forward, exhaling up, all the way around, and then coming forward. Twice more. And here we are. Keep the ribs off the mat. They shouldn't be touching. Keep your hand here, squeezing for the other ear or the other arm. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the leg butt. Inhaling forward. Last time. Exhaling up, all the way around. Squeeze the glute, squeeze the leg butt, and coming center. And give it a little shake. You can kind of just rock yourself up to center here. And I think I'll just give my legs a little shake here as well. Good job, everybody. Okay, so I have a couple more things for you. You're all doing great. If you need to break this up into segments when you're at home so that it's not just all too much all the time, then certainly you can do that. Break it up into your own 10-minute segments. But for now, I mentioned in the email that you could use a towel. So if you have a towel, go ahead and grab it. This is a bath towel. If you don't have a bath towel, but you're using a yoga mat, then you can just fold your yoga mat up, which I think is actually what I'm going to do today, just to show you another option. So I folded my yoga mat up. Ideally, we're going to use a K2 here. So if you have a K2, grab that, and I'll show that to you in just a moment too. So here I am. I'm going to use my towel or my K2. I'm going to put my wedges in place if I know where they go. And then I'm going to come down onto my stomach here. Oops, a little too high. All right, we're going to start with a giant letter X, okay? So it's kind of like an upside down superhero. So you're going to reach those arms away, reach those legs away, and you reach so far away from each other that the head is going to have to float up off the floor, but just a smidge. It's not like I'm lifting like I am now looking at you. It looks like this. So I reach, 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 and the head is about 1 centimeter off the floor. And then I'm going to relax everything down, and I'm going to wiggle my hips. And then I'm going to reach those arms and legs away. My head floats off the floor. I relax, and I wiggle. I reach everything away. And then I relax and I wiggle. Twice more, I reach everything away and I relax and I wiggle. Last time, I reach and I wiggle. Okay, from here, you're going to rest your forehead on your fingertips. And I want to talk about your mid-back concavity, so that thoracic concavity. So if you have a wedge, your wedge is, never mind, I won't get into that. But just locate your concavity here. And then this is what we're going to take an inhale. And I want you to feel the ribs on your concave side spread apart. Okay, so rest your forehead on your fingertips. Press your forehead into the fingertips just a little bit. Reach your legs away gently. Little inhale. Exhale all the air, and as you exhale, bring those ribs apart on the side of the concavity. Stay here and inhale into those ribs. And so that should further spread them apart. And then exhaling. Inhale, spread those ribs apart. Exhaling. Inhale, spread those ribs apart. And exhaling. Last time, inhale, spread them apart. And exhaling. Okay, we're going to add on to this now. From here, you are going to glue your hand to your forehead, the hand on the side of your convexity. So my right side is my thoracic convexity. That hand is going to go to my forehead, and I'm going to put everything down on the floor. So I'm going to lift that side up. And when I lift up on that side, I'm trying to press the convexity forward into the forward space between me and the mat. All right. So it looks a little bit like this. So you're going to inhale. You're going to exhale, lift. The ribs go forward towards the mat. So it's going to be a tiny, tiny lift and come back down. Now, while you're doing this, you're trying not to let go of that openness you had in the concavity. But let's focus on the convexity for a moment, and we'll go back to that concavity in just a second. So inhale, exhale, lift just a smidge, and take that convexity forward towards the mat. So it should feel like her downward and upward trajectory. And down, inhaling, exhaling, lifting up. It's a down and a forward and up, like a fish hook trajectory. Inhaling. Exhaling, this goes forward and down and up, like a fish hook or a letter J, and down you go. Inhaling. Exhaling. Ribs go down and they go up. Okay, now let's combine that with what's happening on the other side. I'll chat you through it. Wiggle if you need to, little wiggle. And then from here, inhale, exhale, ribs go down and up. And now inhale, open the ribs on the concave side. Here we go. Inhale, open up the concavity. Exhale, let's lower everything down. Inhale here, open the concavity. Keep it open, exhale and lift. Keep the concave side open. Keep it open, keep it open, keep it open. Inhaling down. Exhaling, just stay for a moment. Good work, everybody. I know it's tricky, huh? And then exhaling, exhaling. Now inhale, open the concavity. Exhale, keep it open and lift and take the convexity forward. So one side of the back is opening and the other side is going forward. And down you go. Inhaling, rest. Exhaling, reach the legs, reach the top of the head forward. Inhaling, open the concavity. Exhaling, reach the convexity forward. Inhaling down and rest. Exhale, reach the legs. Inhale, open the concavity. Exhale, take the convexity up and forward. Let's try it one more time. Inhale, resting. Wiggle it if you need to. Exhale, reach the legs. Inhale, open the concavity. Exhale, reaching the convexity forward. Inhale, down and resting. And wiggle, 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 wiggle. Good work, everybody. I know that's really tricky, and we can talk about that in a little more detail towards the end of the session if you think that would help. Let's grab the K2 or K1 if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry. You're just going to keep using the rolled up mat or your bath towel or whatever works. If you have the K2, then go ahead and snag it for me. From here, we're going to sit in front of the K2 for just a moment. Sit on your heels if that's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable, sitting up or just kneeling here is going to be fine too. I'll kneel back down so you can see me. From here, just take a nice little flying up. Little tiny inhale. Great big giant exhale. When you exhale, lift the magic diamond. Abs to the spine. Squeeze an imaginary ball between the legs. Inhale only when you have to. Exhale all the air. Squeeze, lift the magic diamond. Abs to the spine. And squeeze the imaginary ball between your thighs. Inhale when you're ready. Exhale, lift the magic diamond. Pull the abs to the spine and squeeze the ball between the legs. Good job, everybody. Give it a little wiggle. All right, one last little stretch here, and then I have a little bit of footwork for you to do, and then we'll be done. We can take questions. So if you have the K2 at home, go ahead and put your hips right here at the very top ledge. Your knees go apart, your heels go together, or your legs can just be straight and you can stand on your toes. But I'm going to start in the frog position here. If this frog position isn't comfortable in your hips, then please don't do it. Just take your feet apart. So down we go. From here, if you are lying on the floor, you're going to be more comfortable with your legs straight. So if you're on the K2 or K1, straighten just one leg. I want you to fly up with your hands. And now inhale, exhale, reach that straight leg so far away that it finally has to lift off the floor, and then just put it back down. So I'm starting in a flexed foot, inhaling, exhaling, reach it so far, toes reach so far away, the leg is floating, and then it comes back down. Inhaling, exhaling, pointing, floating the leg. Inhale, back down, once more. Exhale, floating the leg, pointing the foot, and back down. Great work. Let's take 4 on the other side. So just so you know, we all are working from home. So if you hear some background noises or if the dog starts to jump down on my head, it's because we're all working from home and it's all good. Okay, so from here, other side, you're going to straighten the other leg. You're going to reach to the top of the head, point the foot, that floats the leg up, and exhaling back down. And then inhaling, up you go, and exhaling back down. Inhaling, reaching, exhaling back down. Inhaling, reaching, exhaling, one more for good luck. Inhaling, reaching, and exhaling back down. Good job, everybody. Come on off of there. And then just take a little breath here. Just give yourself a little wiggle. Hands on the ribs. Take the smallest little breath in. Exhale all the air. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. Inhale when you have to. Whew. Exhale all the air, all the air, all the air, all the air. And inhale when you have to. Good work. Okay, now let's talk about the feet for just a moment, and then we'll be done. So I've been taking some free online classes like you have been. And the classes I've been taking have been all ballet and dance related because I'm like, wow, I can jump in with all these amazing people. And so there's one class I've been taking with Suzanne Kucheravi who's been focusing a lot on the feet. And I thought that is something we really need to do, those of us with scoliosis. So I do have on my black socks here. So it's going to be more about doing what I say than we're doing because you're not going to really be able to see very much, right? You can see a little bit. So we are going to start seated, however you're comfortable in a seated position. If you're on the floor, fantastic. If you're not on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you, you know, a yoga block, a small low bench would be really perfect too. Like if you have a Pilates box at home, that's perfect. So you're going to lift those toes up and stretch the toes back. So if I move my fingers out of the way here and I turn my foot to the side, you can see that the ball of my foot is down, but my toes are coming back. And I'm just going to passively bring them back and then just let them flap down to the floor. You'll hear a little thud. Well, maybe not. Maybe the mat is the mat is absorbing the thud. So I'm pulling my toes back and I'm going to thud them down. And I'm going to pull them back and I'm going to let them slap down. And just one more like that. I'm going to pull them back and I'm going to slap them down. Okay, so before we go to the other foot, what I'd really like to do is I'd like you to lift up, put your hands on the ball of the foot, lift the foot up so that you increase this flexion here. So there's creases across the front of my foot here. I want you to lift that foot up and increase those creases comfortably, right? Nothing hurts here. And then you're going to hold the toes up. I'm going to try and turn myself to the side so you can see a smidge better. And then you're going to put the ball of the foot down here. And then you're going to slowly let the toes come down. And as the toes come down, I want you to try and get the big toe and the little toe down at the same time. But I also want you to spread them apart from each other as much as you can. So use your fingers to help you. And so lift the foot up and increase this here. Increase that. Now, when you put the ball of the foot down, it's not just one part of the ball of the foot. We're going to try and get the big toe ball of the foot and the little toe ball of the foot down at the same time. And then spread those toes apart. Use your hands to pull those toes apart and try and get those toes down all at the same time, but in a fan shape. Because you know those toes like to live like this, right? Like they're in the tightest shoe possible. So you're going to use your fingers to pull them apart and then get them down at the same time. And when they're down, they're not doing this claw shape. I'm trying to get my hand close to the video so you can see at the camera. So they're coming down flat, not like little claws. Again, lift the foot up, increase this crease, take your foot down, big toe ball of the foot down at the same time as the little toe ball of the foot. Spread those toes apart. I'm grabbing all my toes here, with my fingers. I'm pulling them apart from each other and they're going down. One last time. Lifting up, increase this crease and big toe ball, little toe ball of the foot at the same time. Spread those toes and they go down. Okay, other side. So we're going to start with the toe flaps, I think Suzanne calls them. So we're going to pull back. Good. And then we're going to flap the toes down. And then we're going to pull back. And then just letting gravity flap them down. And we're going to pull back. And gravity flaps them down. And pull back. And gravity flaps them down. All right. Now, on the heel, really increase this crease right here at the front of the foot. And then we're going to take the ball of the foot down, all sides of the ball of the foot. Pull those toes apart and all toes go down. Increase the crease at the front of the foot and both sides or all parts of the ball of the foot down simultaneously. Pull those toes apart and you spread them apart so the toes are flat, not hooked, right? And then up and nice deep crease here at the front of the foot. All parts of the ball of the foot go down together. We pull the toes apart and we spread them down. Good. Last time. Increase the crease, and all parts of the ball of the foot at the same time, and spread the toes, and down they go. All right, everybody. Whew. One last breath to finish up, and little inhale, giant exhale. Lift the magic diamond, push the knees down, stomach to the spine. Keep exhaling, and inhale when you have to. All right, you did it. Good job, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And now let's go ahead and take questions. So Linda, I saw yours, and let me just go back to it really quickly. So there was a question about osteoporosis and I'm assuming scoliosis together, using light hand weights to do arm exercises while standing. This is recommended for osteoporosis. Do we use the same weight on both sides? So for scoliosis, yeah, you can use the same weight on both sides. With scoliosis, we do a lot of asymmetrical things, as you saw today. And that asymmetry is really linked to trying to find center. So in other words, you would never, ask somebody to start lifting weights while their back is curled here. Well, the same, you would always, of course, ask them to lift and stretch and start here. So you're going to push their spine closer to neutral. Well, it's the same for scoliosis. I would never ask somebody to start doing their bicep curls here. We're going to do whatever we can to elongate and bring the spine closer to neutral. So a lot of the asymmetry that you see us doing is really centered around trying to find neutral. It's not about doing more weight on one side than the other, or more reps on one side than the other. It's really about trying to find neutral. Okay. So let's see here. Where are the questions? Oh, you're very welcome to all of you. If you're taking off now, you're so welcome. You're very, very welcome. Yes, it is difficult. None of this is easy, Elizabeth, and it doesn't really get tremendously easier. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm just saying that a lot of this is very isometric, right? And so if you're going to push your hands against your hands here, or push your knees against your hands here, and it doesn't really get a whole lot easier. It continues to meet you where your strength level is. So for me today, it was probably as hard for you if you were doing it the first time or the 10th time. It meets you where the work meets you where you are. But the great part about it is that this work allows me to do pretty much anything I want to do. You know, I'm getting older, so my spine is not going to go back to professionally dancing anytime soon. But first I'd have to fit in the costume. That would also be a problem. Okay, Allison, how do you get the ribs to spread on the concave side if you're exhaling? So, Allison, you can actually maintain a shape with the exhale. Yes, it's very natural for the ribs to expand on the inhale and to contract on the exhale. However, you can make that shape change. You can keep that shape change and hold it during the exhale. It's not easy, and it's not even necessarily easy to wrap your mind around, but it is something that can happen so that we don't have to give into our curves habit every time we breathe. So my curves habit is going to be to inhale and expand this convexity even more, and to exhale and to dive into my concavity even more. So then every breath I take just confirms my shape. So it goes here and it goes there and it goes here and it goes there. And so what we want to have happen is don't give into the shape of the scoliosis. Exhale, keep that exhale, keep the length, as opposed to going where your body thinks it should go, which is over here. So it's something that might take a little bit of thought. Are you forcing your intercostal muscles to keep the space? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm kind of forcing that stretch on those intercostals to continue to stay open while I'm exhaling. Otherwise, those intercostals, I'm trying to find a space here where you can see against, okay, those intercostals want to live apart. I'm sorry, they want to live together, right? And so I'm trying to get them here. And so this is more normal. So we're not going to try and dive into that space. We're going to try and keep it open. Goldie, are you breathing differently on the right side and the left side, on the convex and concave side? Not really, Goldie. I mean, there's a thought pattern that's happening there. It's not that I'm breathing so differently. So my thought pattern is that my convexity is coming out to the back, and so I want it to come forward, right? So I want those ribs to come down and forward, and then I want my concave side to go up and back. So that's my thought pattern, and that's the structure that I'm trying to create. And so when I'm instructing breathing, it's like, okay, really focus on keeping these open, keeping these closed. And so therefore it's going to feel most likely like you're inhaling into that concavity, when in fact what we're trying to do is we're trying to create the strongest neutral position possible, so that when we inhale, the diaphragm can fill up all spots of the rib cage of the thorax more symmetrically. But it frequently makes sense to say, yes, breathe into that concavity. And if that helps you to think that way, then that works. That's really good. Oh, you're so welcome, Patty. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, you're very welcome. The prone work is super hard. It's really, really hard, Danielle. And I find the supine, or when you're lying on your back, work really hard too. You know, it's the matter of trying to get that curve to drop and then the awareness of keeping it there. No, there's nothing too easy. Maya, hi Maya, you're welcome. Maya is one of my clients and she's very famous. If you go to Instagram on my page, she's all over it. She's amazing. Karen, my convex rib cage or side is so weak. I can't hold it up for very long. It is trying so hard to collapse. What can I do? Karen, do you mean your convex or your concave side here? Thank you, Chris. I'll see you next week. You're very welcome, Christine. You're very welcome. It doesn't really matter though, convex or concave. With scoliosis, we're very strong in our curves. So we can do all this fantastic work. And then if I give you a vase of flowers and I say, here, take this, and it weighs 10 pounds, the first thing that you're going to do, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lift, here's something. Imagine this is 10 pounds. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to lift it and you're going to drop into your curve to lift because that's where you're strongest. And that's okay. You know, and so these positions of me asking you to find your neutral and lift from there is always going to feel really weak. It's not the pattern that your body wants to use for lifting, whether it's this or whether it's your own body weight. So yeah, Karen, just be patient with yourself and kind of move through it slowly and very thoughtfully. And I'm good. I mean, some of the movements I showed you today, it looks small on camera, but I was actually trying to exaggerate it so you could see it. So the movements are going to be so, so tiny, so tiny. And Judith, hello, and I'll see you tomorrow. When I breathe into my convexity, my neck on the same side hurts sometimes. Anything I can do to prevent that? Yes, Judy, it's a great question. So Judy says, when I breathe into my convexity, my neck on the same side hurts sometimes. Anything I can do to prevent that? Yes, don't breathe so deeply. And I know that sounds, you know, kind of trite, but don't push into that point of pain. When you're opening up the concavity or you're closing down the convexity, whatever side you're working on there is a connective tissue connection throughout the body, right? And it's used to living in a shape, you know, whatever that shape is, right? And so if you start to change part of that shape, it's going to pull on the rest of the connective tissue. And so you're going to have to be very careful that, okay, if I'm going to pull here, you have to be aware that it's gonna have radiating effects. Okay, so then just be kind to yourself and know, oh, okay, so the breath. I have evidence here of the connective tissue in my body, and my connective tissue is telling me, whoa, Nelly, pull it back. And so just take smaller inhales or smaller exhales, whatever the case may be. Susan, I don't know about the classes until my sister. Oh, that's awesome, Susan. I'm so happy to hear that. Tell your sister I said hello. Yeah, you just can register for it. In fact, when we end this meeting, I'm going to send you to that registration page. Anybody, those classes are still available. So the first two classes we did last week were breathing and anxiety on Tuesday. And on Thursday, we did the first class like this. You can just go in and register for them. Absolutely. Yes, and don't worry, everybody gets confused regarding convex concave. It's probably something we'll review at the beginning of each class. It's really confusing. Kathleen, you're so welcome. Patricia, you're so welcome. Goldie, thank you. And thanks for coming next week. That would be awesome. Susan, oh, thank you. The session has been great. You are a delight. Thank you, Susan. You're very welcome, Judy. I'll see you tomorrow. See you. Catherine, thank you. Allison, thanks for talking about the feet. Yeah, so the feet and scoliosis. We'll be talking about that a little bit more. Oh, good, Carol. Keep feeling good. Melanie, you're very, very welcome. Okay, everybody, I think we did it. I'm going to put my glasses on so we can finish this meeting. I can get us out of here. You all have a really good day, and please stay super healthy and happy. And of course, as always, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Feel good, everybody.